Hey BFFs, guess where we are?
We're at Philz Coffee in Orange.
So, I brought my BFF to my favorite coffee place in Old Town Orange, Philz Coffee. We're gonna go in, we have our masks, we're gonna go in and we're gonna meet the team leader, Rocky. So come on, let's go.
Let's go.
Hi BFFs. Okay, so I hope you can hear me because I have my mask on and this is a whole different way of interviewing these days, but we are following the rules, right?
Yeah, for once we're actually doing it with the way we should.
Yeah, that's right. Anyways, so my BFF and I are here at Philz Coffee in Old Town Orange.
That's right.
Okay, so we have talked about this so long now, and it's finally here. I am so excited to be here, and we are sitting with Rocky, the team leader of the Old Town Orange location. Welcome, Rocky.
Thank you. Thank you for
Nice to have
me.
you here.
Thank you.
So Rocky, I believe it's just opened, hasn't it?
We opened in August, and we've had a great time since we've opened. We waited a long time to get here,
Right.
and everything had to be just perfect for the Old Town Historical Society.
Yes.
But we've passed everything. We've got everything in place, and we're ready.
That's
We're
awesome.
Ready.
That's great. And what a lovely location it is.
Isn't it a great
Yes.
location?
Can you tell us something a bit? Isn't there a history for this site?
Yes.
It used to be a Texaco station at one time, and then it was a garage after that,
Okay.
and now it's a Philz coffee shop.
Nice. Very
Yeah.
nice indeed.
Yeah.
And as you can tell from all the action in the background, it's an active Philz coffee shop.
That's right.
So, but you will find that all Philz coffee shops are very active. So, one of the things that I really love about Philz is you find a place in the community. You find a little area in the community. You keep that vibe from because this, as you said, was once a garage, right?
Yeah,
For
yes.
automobiles,
Yes.
right? And so when they were doing the design, they kept that,
Yes.
right? They kept that feel. As you can see, when you come here, not if, but when you all come and visit, you'll see that there's the perimeter still has some of the remnants of what it was before, correct?
Yeah. All of this is a very unique Philz. Every Philz is unique to its own community, and we wanted to keep the integrity of this building. So we have the 3 roll-up doors that the cars would come in and they would get lifted up on the hydraulics, and they would change the oil or something. I actually have a guy that came by and said that it was his grandfather that owned the Texaco station.
Oh wow!
And his son worked for his father worked for his grandfather at the Texaco store here.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
So he was, and now his son, the grandson, is now a customer of ours.
Very nice.
That's
It's really cool.
And that's part of what Old Town Orange is about.
Yeah.
Those stories of generation to generation. I love that. I mean, just in the businesses, in the homes, the historical homes, they've really managed, the city has managed to really keep that old town vibe, right? That they and just kind of build around it. Well, you
great
live
for the
here
community.
too.
I do. I just live down the road.
Yeah.
So it really is such a lovely community here. People are really nice.
Sundays, Saturdays, well, almost every day, you see people walking around with their dogs. Philz loves dogs. I mean, they come here. Every dog gets a treat.
Oh, awesome!
We put water bowls out for them.
Nice.
We just really embrace them, and then you embrace the dog's human owners. The pet parents.
Sure.
And so a lot of times we remember the names of their drinks. A lot of times.
Yes.
But we always remember the names of the dogs.
That's crazy.
So that's
awesome.
nice.
That is nice.
Yeah.
Well, I had a little phone conversation with Phil earlier today.
Yeah.
So while you were out and about and making your way here, Rocky and I took a picture. and
Nice.
we texted to Phil, and he called me.
Oh,
Yeah.
And
wonderful.
he wanted me to relay a message to you, your team, and to the community that he loves you all.
Yeah.
And I've had some very wonderful conversations with Phil.
Yeah.
And I know that he says that from the bottom of his heart. And when he says he loves the community, he truly, truly means it.
He does.
And so I told him that I would relay that message to you,
Thank
the
you.
team, and
That's nice.
to the community.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
I look forward to meeting him.
Oh, he is
Yeah.
such a precious man. And I just love how his story and how this all came about from his shop, from his store in San Francisco
In the Mission District.
in the Mission District, and he told me the story that when he decided to move his furniture from his house into his store
Into the store, yeah.
so that his customers would have somewhere to sit
Wow.
when he started to serve coffee.
Yeah.
And it just kind of went from there. And what I love about this is now his son is involved.
Jacob.
And yes, and it has just, become what we just talked about.
Yeah.
What Old Town is about, and what his ideas of his business and growing his
Yeah.
business. Rocky and I were speaking earlier about how there's so many different businesses that just pop up, every quarter mile,
Right.
or, umpteen in one city of the same business. Whereas Philz is a little more mindful where and how and when they choose a spot,
Okay.
and how they grow into that.
Yeah,
Correct?
yeah. Jacob is really particular about location. He wants it to be in a community that not only Philz will embrace, but the community will embrace
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
And my goal in opening this store was that we would ingratiate ourselves into the Old Town Orange community, because it's such a tight-knit community.
Yes.
I know a lot of the people in the other businesses already. They've come over to welcome themselves when we first opened. And it's nice to be able to go into a store and people greet you and say hello to you. You feel welcomed. And that's what this whole community has been about.
It's like when you move into a new neighborhood and your neighbor brings you a casserole.
Yes,
Right?
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you all get to know each other.
Yeah.
You're all serving the same community.
Yes.
And it is very true. It is a very tight knit community, that's what I love about this city. I
Yeah.
absolutely
Very
love
nice.
it. I
Yeah.
also love that there's still antiques here.
There
there's
are.
still antique stores. There used to be more, but
Right.
they're still here.
They're still
So,
here.
yeah.
They
There's
draw
a
people
lot of
in.
unique shops
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Old Town Orange.
Right.
Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit. So you have a little history of
Well, I do.
growing
Yes.
coffee, right? So tell
So-
us a little bit about that.
I think we've mentioned before that I'm actually from Zimbabwe, and my dad lives in Zimbabwe, and he's been there now for over nearly 60 years. And he primarily started coffee growing in Zimbabwe because they didn't have it growing there, and he was responsible for making the production happen in Zimbabwe. So that was years ago, because I'm
Yes.
sure you've heard of Zimbabwean coffee,
Oh yeah.
and it's really nice. So
Really good.
I've sort of grown up on coffee plantations
Yeah.
since I was a child. So it's fascinating how this all sort of comes around and switches around again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So earlier you and I were talking about the process from the seed to the cup, right?
Yes.
So walk us through what that looks like from Phil's perspective.
Phil sources their coffees from many different countries, and the green beans get shipped to our roasting plant in San Jose, and the beans get roasted to a certain darkness or darkness, a medium light, and then all the beans are blended together to create Phil's different kinds of coffees.
Varieties, yes.
So the first blend that Phil developed was Tesora, and it contained seven different beans, and it took him 7 years to create this. So nobody knows what the magic is behind the cup, but Phil worked really hard on making that happen, and it's probably our most famous coffee outside of Jacob's Wonder Bar is very
Yes,
close,
yes.
which he named in honor of his son.
Of his son, yes.
And tesoro in Italian means treasure.
Uh-huh.
And it's usually something that we never really discount or have discounts on our coffees, but this holiday season, tesoro will be only $14 instead of
gosh,
the normal
that's
$18.
great.
So that's kind of exciting.
That's very exciting.
Yeah, and this year also we're going to have our very first, and I haven't tasted it yet, but I hear it's fantastic, is Gratitude Blend.
Oh, that's
Because
so cool.
Phil really believes, Phil is all about love.
He is.
And he's grateful for what's happened, and we're all considered the Philz fam.
Yes.
We call ourselves fam.
Yes.
We refer to ourselves as the Philz fam.
Right.
And then it's just a pleasure and an honor to be part of it.
Well, in my many conversations with him, he always said that he doesn't have employees.
Right.
He always says that.
Yeah.
And he does truly look at each one of you as family.
Yeah.
And he embraces the business like a family.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, and the names of his coffee, like Jacob's Wonder Bar,
Yeah.
and there is one that Canopy of Heaven.
Yes.
And when I spoke to him this morning, he said that, the canopy of heaven is what we all live under.
Yes.
I love the way he thinks.
Yeah.
And because the way he thinks is all about bringing people together.
Right.
And making sure that we are all respectful of each other, we're all mindful of each other, and we just basically all love each other.
Mm-hmm. And Phil's little tagline that we all say is, "You be you."
Yes.
You
Right.
be you when you're here.
Yeah.
You don't have to pretend to be, that you're serving a guest and that you're happy. We generally are. I mean, we
Right.
come in and I look
Yeah.
at the
You can see that
schedule and
when
I'm
we come in.
excited about
Yes.
who I get to work with today.
Yes.
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 And also excited about who I'm going to see come in.
Right.
As the guests come in, you know them. You get to know them, and that's a good feeling. There was a lady outside last night who I overheard tell another person on the patio she was sitting with, and she goes, "I just want you to know that when I met you, I knew you were going to be my friend right away." And so I stopped and I said, "You know what? Listening to you talk to your friend made my day.
Right.
Right.
It made my day."
So can I just tell you how many people I have met in line before had to, distance ourselves? How many people I met standing in line at Philz? I went to Philz South Coast. That was my first Philz that I went
Yep.
to. And my son and my daughter-in-law had already been going, and they
Yeah.
loved it. And
Yeah.
they told me about it. And then I saw one opening over in the South Coast metro area,
Yeah.
and that was the very first one that I went to.
Yeah.
So I'm standing in line, and the minute you walk into a Philz, there's a vibe that you feel.
Yeah.
There is something in the air, and it's rather magical. It seems like it's permeating off of the beans.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
It feels
sense.
like
Uh-huh.
it's permeating off of the beans, and what I noticed right away was what I did not hear in Philz. What I did not hear were blenders.
Right. We have no
There's-
blood.
There's
True.
no blended
Right.
drinks here.
No.
But there are blended drinks. Does
Yes.
that make sense?
Yes.
So, and out of this, I love what you call your coffee is a cup of love.
Yes.
Right.
And you can know that if you're having a bad day and you walk into Philz, you're either someone in line is going to put a smile on your face.
Yeah.
Someone, and I call them coffee creators. I know you call them
Baristas.
Do you call them baristas or you call them team?
Well, we're all team members, but if they're behind the bar, they're a barista.
Okay.
Barista in Italian means master of the bar.
Oh, well,
Right.
there you go.
So
There
they're
you go.
they're the master of creating that drink specifically to the way you want it.
Yes, yes.
So when you come up to Philz and you get your drink, we always encourage you, and it's a little bit tougher now because people are having to wear
Yes,
masks.
yes.
But we encourage you to take a sip. We don't want you to leave without that cup being exactly
Right.
the way you want
Right.
it. And a lot of times I'll ask the guest, they take a sip and I'll ask, do you love it? And they thumbs up,
Right.
and I
Yes.
we want you to love the
Yes,
cup before you leave.
yes. So I've made so many friends standing in line there. I mean,
Yeah.
you just start talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just start talking to them, or they start talking to you. Before you know it, I'm having coffee with them.
Yeah.
And there
You
is
are.
an age range
Yeah.
that it's not. I mean, it's not one demographic. It's a range
Yeah.
of people that come in, and I think they're coming in and they're for many reasons. The environment. You cannot leave a Philz without feeling better.
Yeah.
And once you
That's
take
our
a
hope.
sip of that coffee, then you're on your way.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
it is exactly what it says. It is a cup of love. So if you're having a bad day and
Grab
you
a cup
want
of coffee.
little, you go to Philz and you take your first sip and it's like a hug.
Yeah.
And that can be a warm, a hot coffee, a cold coffee, which, oh my gosh, when I tasted the cold brew,
Yes.
Oh, it's
We
delicious.
have the
that
cold
was
brew now.
delicious.
Very nice.
We have the
Yes.
Mission cold brew and we have the filtered soul cold brew.
And the filtered soul just came out, correct?
Just came out and it's got hints of hazelnuts in it.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
And if you get it sweet, if you take it home,
Yes.
it's good for 2 days. Put your cream and your sugar in it, and you're set.
And you're set.
Yeah.
Yes, I know.
I love the
Paul.
flavor. The mojito is my favorite.
You have the mint mojito, which
right.
is one of our top most requested drinks.
So when I started going to Philz, that was the first drink I had because I was
Right.
like, what do I try? What do I try?
Yeah.
Right? And so I had the mint mojito.
Yeah.
And
I
you
loved
actually
it.
introduced me to
Yes,
it. And I said,
yes.
wow, let me try it. Who'd have thought to
Yes.
put mint with your coffee? I do it with
Right.
tea.
Yeah.
But with coffee, I think it's
Yes.
stunning. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to talk a little bit more about the beans because it's almost like when I talk about it to people, I feel like I'm talking about wine
Yeah.
with the body and the notes. And now, as we're talking, and you're telling me that there is a blended beans that creates, because I've
right.
watched them
Yes.
as the orders come in, they'll go up, they'll go to the back, and they'll go take from here, take from here, take from here,
Yeah.
and they're doing the blend right there, right?
A lot of customers come in and they'll take filtered soul and silken splendor,
Oh.
and they'll have a silken soul.
Oh, right.
Or
Yes.
and so they find that they like if you do Jacob's Wonder Bar, which has got a lot of chocolatey notes to
Yes,
it and
yes,
it's very dark and
yes.
rich,
Right.
and they'll put that with another blend or add a little hazelnut into it, and they create their own drinks. There's a little bit of a secret menu that goes on.
Yes.
Right.
And one of those is a oatmeal cookie. So they'll blend the coffees together and then either add the cream and the sugar. But when you're drinking it, it tastes like an oatmeal cookie.
Oh
And
my
that's all
gosh.
something that's kind of grown from the bottom
Yes,
upwards.
Yes, yeah.
Those drinks aren't on the menu, but it's like the Philz fam in the community
Yes.
has created these extra different ways of having their drink.
Yes.
And I don't know if I mentioned before, but Jacob is always saying there's 1,000 different cups of Philz,
Right.
and we will find your cup.
Yes.
You know,
What a
So
great
that's
thing.
our goal.
And so we mentioned some of the names. Jacob's Wonder Bar is his son Jacob, and then there's my paper fell. I lost my paper. So tell me, I know that there's the Canopy of Heaven.
Uh-huh.
There's Julie's.
Julie's Ultimate.
Julie's Ultimate, that's his daughter, correct?
And we have Filtered Soul, which you can get. It's not just cold brew, but you can get it hot or cold.
Yes, yes.
Which has, like I said, hazelnut flavors to it.
Isn't there one with strawberry in it?
With what?
Strawberry?
We have a rosé.
Rosé, there you
Oh,
go. Sorry,
Cafe
that's
rosé.
another lovely one.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Yes.
that's the rose.
That's
the,
right.
Yes, and so I've had that too. And the interesting part about the rosé is when you hear it, you're thinking rose flavor and coffee.
I know.
Right.
But oh my,
It's a surprise,
Yes.
isn't it?
it is
It is.
quite the surprise. It is very subtle. It just kind of, it's like a dance in your mouth. It's like, when it hits your tongue,
Yeah.
it like dances.
When you
I know that sounds really weird.
My-
I'm
No,
a
no.
chef, so
Well,
I'm
my-
gonna.
It's a great way to describe it, I think.
Right.
Very
My
good
first
way.
time I had it, I was very skeptical, and I took a sip, and then I'd bought in a large at the Fullerton location, and I kept sipping and sipping, and I was all, finally, somebody's been able to do this the right way.
Right.
Exactly.
Because there's a lot of coffee companies that have attempted a rose drink
Yes.
and have not had much success. But it's probably our number 2 biggest seller, and I drank it that day, and then this was before I started working at
Did you
Philz.
think about it afterwards?
Yes.
Isn't
And
that weird?
I had to go back the next day and get
Right.
it other way.
you
Right?
go.
You think
That-
about
yeah.
it. That's,
Yeah.
Well, I did the
you
same
think
thing with the
about
mojito.
this,
I'm
With
thinking
the
about
yeah.
think about
mint
the
mojito.
rosé, and then that's all in your head. You just want to. All you can think about is having it again.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And because it makes you, it's like when you're drinking it, does
Yeah.
it make you feel good?
Oh, yeah.
It does.
Right?
I'm so lucky because, well, everybody that works here is so lucky because we get all the drinks we want all day long.
Right.
Right?
And they're always, they're always creating new things and new ways to do it. And that's what Philz is about when they say you be you.
Right.
You
Yes,
find your
yes.
drink, and then with my team, they like to share it. So a lot of times they'll make the drink and a customer will come. We have a lady named Judy that comes up probably 3 times a day. Yesterday she was here 3 times, and I was here all 3 times she was here, that she kept coming back. And at the end she goes, I'm sorry, I'm back again. And I was all like,
No.
Never be sorry.
Never.
Right.
We love seeing you.
Yeah.
And so, she's all like, what is your favorite drink right now? And so I have a hot to soar with a little bit of honey on top and some oat milk.
Right.
And
Nice.
Jacob actually kind of opened me up to that drink. That's one of his favorite drinks. So, yeah, we're just, we really like each other here.
That's
and
great.
we really appreciate the people that come in.
And you can see that, and you can feel it when you walk in.
Yeah.
And so, my conversations with Phil, I have so appreciated them because having a conversation with someone who has a true desire to just bring people together, it really makes you think.
Well, when I hadn't met Phil for about 6 months while I was working here, and then when I knew that he was going to be at our Studio City store when that opened, I had the opportunity to go and work that day there, and it was like meeting a rock star.
Sure.
It really was. I was so
Right.
nervous. I was so excited, and he just came up and hugged me, and then we talked, and he just told me, he said, this isn't about, I don't want you to think that Philz is like any other company. I want you to think that I just want you to love the community.
Right.
Love the people you work with and love your community.
Yes.
And so this is a place where people who disagree on so many different things can come in and enjoy a cup of coffee. And like you said earlier, one person could be sitting over here, one person over here, and pretty soon they're talking to each
Right.
other.
Right.
What did you get today? Oh, I got a Philharmonic.
Right.
What did
Right.
you get today? Oh, I got a new Manhattan.
Right.
And a new Manhattan, by the way, iced with sweet. There's nothing better on,
All right, we
on a
should try
hot
that
summer
next time.
day. That was my whole drink since we opened.
Right.
And I just turned over to black tea You do that. You go through phases.
Yes, yes.
So you think that I'm going to get the same drink every day, and then you start looking at the menu and you go like, I think I want to
let's try
try
something
this
else.
one.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
And
That's
then you
exciting to
kind
do
of
that.
get on that cycle for a while. And
Yeah.
so it all depends on the weather and what you want to drink, what you want to enjoy that day.
So I want to talk a little bit about the brewing process.
Okay.
Because I know that you do pour overs, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so, and a pour over is I think, from my opinion, it's the freshest way that you can get from your bean to the grind to the cup.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
So, as you place your order, they gather the beans, they grind it, and they take it to the pour over, right?
Right.
So, walk me through that.
So every single drink is 1 cup at a time. So there's no espresso machines, but we can make any drink that coffee shop with an espresso. We can find something that's going to be similar. But it's pretty much exactly what you said. If you order a mocha tesora, we're gonna go and get the beans. We're gonna grind the beans. We measure them out. We're gonna grind the beans, put them in your filter, pour the hot water over it, and it brews down into the cup. We stir it with love and passion. And then we truly believe that if you're putting love in the cup, the love turns out in the taste of the cup.
Yes.
I can believe that.
And so
Yes.
that's what we do. Every single cup is individualized, and it's for that specific person.
And so this is what I'm talking about when I say you walk in and there's a different feel here, because as each person is stirring that cup and infusing it with love and passion, that's what's permeating through the
Right.
Yeah.
through the
Yeah.
environment.
Right.
And this is what Philz, this is what he wants. He wants that to permeate out there
Yeah.
and
it
bring
works.
people in, spread that love out there where everybody can just love thy neighbor, right?
And there's a lot of coffee shops that I've worked at or have experienced where the training is very short and very cookie cutter. And this training here, they get 15 days of training.
Wow.
And even then, there's follow-up training to
Okay.
it. So we want to make sure the tornado stirs are in there.
Right.
That everything's completely put together. So the mint mojito, when you get the first sip, is just as good as the last sip.
Right. And very
It's
important.
not like you get to the bottom and there's more sugar at the bottom, or
Right, right.
it's not balanced. And the mint mojito is a perfect example where we want every sip to be perfect.
Yes, yes, and it is. It's like magic.
It is magic.
It is. It's magic.
It's
There's
lovely.
so much more going on
Delicious.
here
Yeah.
than meets the eye.
Yeah.
And so if you haven't noticed, I'm a
You're a great
huge
fan.
fan.
And I'm becoming one.
Right.
You know what I found was when you go online to order your drink,
Yeah.
I love the options. You can
Right.
have light sugar, you can have light cream. I mean, you can really customize the drink as you would like it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
And
can
it's-
do Philz to go.
There you go.
You can just go to download the mobile app, and it gives you a time. It lets you know who's making your
That's
drink.
right. Yep.
And you can order right off the mobile app, and it'll be ready. And it's not only just the coffee that'll be ready, but any of the pastry items you want. If you want to order whole beans so that you can brew at home,
Right.
we can have that ready for you, exactly the way you want it ground.
Yes.
If you want it whole bean, it'll be whole bean, and we'll have it all ready for you.
So the customizing of your drink is just amazing.
Yeah.
And it really, you get the perfect drink at the end of it.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Okay, so I keep gravitating back to the beans
Uh-huh.
because I want to talk a little bit about that before I move on to when we all had to shut down. And my chemo brain, you might have to remind me. So, because when I look at the menu, right, and you have all these notes attached to the beans, like
Yeah.
chocolate notes and
Yes.
nuts, and
Yes.
so tell me about that. We're talking about the individual beans and the combination, correct?
Yes. So it'll give you the name of the coffee. So if it's Philharmonic, that's the name of the coffee. And then it, just like fine wines, when you're
Yes.
tasting wines and you have high notes
Yes,
and low
yes.
notes.
That's right.
It's the same thing in coffee.
Okay.
It's very similar. So a lot of times we do with new hires, or even just to test our own abilities, we line them up and then we say from dark to light, or we try to mix them up and say, now guess what coffee that is. Like, how well is your palate
Yes.
developed to our beans? And if a guest wants a medium blend, you know, which coffee are you going to pick out?
Right.
And you can take a coffee and then if you sip it and it's not right, we'll just make you another cup. We'll work on it till we find the right cup
Right.
for you.
Do you know, I can see another show coming up where we will do a tasting.
Oh, like a cup of, yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
do
Yeah.
a tasting
I'd be
in front of
happy
us.
to do
and-
that.
Oh, that would be
And we'll have a
awesome.
little competition.
Oh, okay.
See if we can do our different roasts.
Oh, huh.
From a
like-
dark roast to a
we'll
light
have to do
roast. I think that'd be.
flights. Coffee
We could
flights.
do a coffee flight.
Yeah.
I think that would be really exciting.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be so
Uh-huh.
fun. Yes.
So yeah, we should set that up.
Right. Okay, you threw me off now. I was just about to ask a question.
I'm sorry, I
No,
just
you
got
can't
excited
do that
about
to
it,
my
and I thought it would be
brain.
really great. Oh, how funny.
So,
Okay.
so this is when we're talking about the combination and it's the chocolate notes.
Uh-huh.
The chocolate notes, I love that. If I see something that says chocolate notes, I'm gonna go for it.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember what I was going to say. Bear with me. Okay, so I wanted to talk about the acidity level
Uh-huh.
because this coffee is very smooth.
Yes.
And there is no after effects of acidity level.
Right.
I'm like your one customer that comes multiple times in a
Yes.
day. I'm a student at Cal State Fullerton, and when I'm going through midterms and finals and doing those all-night projects, I'm watching the clock for when Philz is going to close.
Yeah.
Because I've already been there twice, but I need one more to get me through the night.
Yeah.
And so, but I can drink this coffee and have no issues, you know, with indigestion or anything like
right.
that.
Yeah.
So, what is it that sets Philz apart?
Well, if you want no acidity whatsoever and just a absolutely smooth cup of coffee, the cold brew is the way to go, because it's not used with hot water.
Right.
We brew it with cold water. It brews for 12 hours, and then you pour it over ice, and it's absolutely fantastic and smooth. Most of our coffees are low acidic.
Yes.
So it's got a fine balance, and that's because you're using different beans from different countries of origin.
Right.
So that's how most of it is accomplished. And there are some people that like a coffee with a little bit more acidity to it, because it's like the sparkle in a soda.
Yes.
It hits the side
Yes,
palates of
yes.
your tongue.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so the acidity fact isn't, some people get it confused with like acid or battery
Yes,
acid.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
not what we're talking
Right,
about.
right.
It's like the bubbles in champagne almost. That kind of taste on your mouth.
Right. Right.
If you do like a Jacob's Wonder Bar where it's darker coffee with a chocolate flavor to it, and it's kind of got a little bit of velvety to it. If you put it in, sip it, and you rub your tongue against the top of the roof of your mouth, you'll really feel it. And then every sip after that is just
Wow.
just delicious.
See, that's what I'm talking about. This is more than a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
It's more than a pick-me-up. It's
It's
there's
an
a
experience.
It's an experience.
Yeah.
It's
an
at times
experience.
it's a
Yeah.
magical experience. Because
7 years to make Tesora. That's a long
Wow,
time.
that
Wow.
is.
Bean by bean and playing and doing this, and then Phil developed that.
Wow.
Wow, that is amazing.
Okay, I want to go back to the chocolate side of it.
Okay.
what puts that flavor in there? What is that?
That's just mixing a darker roasted coffee. So when we talk about roasts are anywhere from light, medium to dark.
Yes.
And it's equivalent, like if you put a piece of bread in a toaster and it toasts just for a little bit, it comes out, it's still kind of the same color.
Yeah.
And if you toast it for a little bit longer, it's that medium kind of toast. And if you like your toast well done,
right?
that does that. It gets really dark. So the bean roasting itself is anywhere from 7 to like 11, 12 minutes. You go much more than that, it's going to be burnt.
Right.
But it's going to have that burnt flavor.
Right.
Yes.
And we take it, I think our roasters in San Jose take it all the way up to the edge and then stop.
Right. And I do know that there's a certain temperature that they have to be roasted at, because my dad used to roast his own coffee.
Right.
Yeah.
And yes, he was very, very careful what
And if
temperature
you're
was.
ever lucky enough to be in a roasting plant when they're roasting coffee
it's
and that
delicious.
coffee comes out of the roaster and that smell and that flavor that's going around to cool the beans
Yeah.
is just one of the most magnificent things you can ever smell in your life.
Yes.
I remember it in the home because my dad had a small little roaster and he used to
Yes.
do it himself.
Yeah.
And the whole house would just
Yeah.
smell of this beautiful coffee.
Oh my gosh.
Sometimes he would overcook it and he'd over roast it, and then it wasn't such a great smell.
right.
And he used to get mad about that. But he was very, very careful how he roasted his
Yeah.
coffee.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's just amazing.
Yeah.
And it had to have taken so many years to perfect that.
I can't even imagine having the patience to do that,
Right.
but
Right.
he did.
Wow.
Wow.
And Jacob, his son, is just following in his footsteps and leads us with inspiration
Yes.
and love. And he's all, do what's right.
Yes.
Make it right for the guests.
Yes.
And it's not only just right for the guests, but Philz takes really good care of us. I mean, I've worked a lot of places. I'm a little bit older by touch of gray, and
I'm in the club too.
and you know, Philz took a chance on me coming into a company that's still pretty young, and gave us the opportunity to work and to build a team.
Right.
And I've been so blessed that I got a really good team. I got a really good team. And the other store leaders in the area, we all, you know, we talk to each other. We genuinely care about each other.
Yes.
There's no fakeness,
Yeah.
you know.
So it's a family.
Yeah.
It is a
and,
family.
and thankfully it's family owned and,
Yes.
and led, and I really couldn't be happier working for this
And
company.
it's family
Nice.
owned by a family that has values that have passed that on and is encouraging through each cup
Yeah.
to pass it on out there. as
Yeah. That's
well.
great.
Yes.
What a
yes,
great ethic to have.
Yes, it is. It is.
Yeah,
It's fantastic.
wonderful.
Oh my gosh, we have
Well,
had such.
Have we had fun?
Yes, yes, we've had a great time. Thank you.
And
Thank you.
I'm dying to dive
You
into my
haven't,
coffee.
you
I
haven't
know.
tasted it.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Paul. Go ahead. We got a good
All right,
shot of
we
it.
got a good shot. All right, we're going to try it now.
You go right
Very
ahead.
Delicious.
Right.
It is. It always
and the
is.
rosé. We have to have a little
The rosé, we must
yeah.
do that next time.
And it's so funny
So
because
great.
when we talk about rosé, people always think it's alcoholic. But
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not.
no.
It's a light flavor of rose.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's just wonderful flavor. To match it with coffee it's just fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It is a
it's
beautiful
Yes.
combination.
So I am so blessed to have met Phil and to have the conversations that I've had with him and the inspiration that he gives
Yeah.
just by being himself,
Yeah.
what he encourages everyone else to do.
It trickles down from Phil to Jacob to everybody in our office. My boss Kelly, I couldn't ask for somebody who gives me more support, more love, checking up on each other.
Yeah.
How's your day going? You know, stay strong. do this,
And those words of encouragement, those daily
You
words
don't get
of
that
encouragement.
everywhere.
No, you don't.
Exactly.
You really
Exactly.
don't. I mean,
Right.
I actually, I get up in the morning, I look forward to being here.
Isn't that
Yeah.
great?
And during this time frame,
Yes.
I go home and, there's TV or there's, stuff to do around the house. But when I come to work, I get to work with these people.
Yes.
And that's a joy in itself.
Yes.
They all have hopes, dreams, and desires, and anything that I can do and Philz can do to help them get there, that's what our mission is.
Before we stop, I want to touch a little bit on when the shutdown and how it affected all the businesses and how Philz came back from having been shut down, all the stores, correct?
Yeah.
And then as I would drive by every day. Are they open? Are they open? Are
Yeah.
they open? I truly missed my coffee.
Yeah.
But I truly, above missing my coffee, I missed that camaraderie.
Yeah.
Right.
That
That build up.
energy that you get when you walk in to
Yeah.
Philz. But I watched them slowly have a plan and execute that plan. So tell me, as a team leader, how did you weather through all that?
Well, when March 17th is when we closed down, and it was probably about 2 weeks later, and everybody was like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And we really wanted to figure out a way that we could somehow, because people were calling, they missed their Philz, they missed their cup of love. And so 4 stores said, I'll be part of this test. And so 4 stores opened, one of them being Fullerton that I was at the time. And we were only open from 7 to 11. Oh boy, was it crowded. And
Yeah.
10 minutes before 11, it got really crowded. And it was all done through the mobile app. So you downloaded the mobile app, you came, you picked up the drink at the front door. Then we extended hours longer because there was a need and there was a want.
Right.
And recently we've opened up patios
Yes.
for outdoor seating.
Yes.
And realizing that we're going into the cold weather, in all of our stores now, which all of them are open, I think, you can actually come into the store, place your order.
Right.
You can't sit inside right now as of yet, but you can enjoy your drinks on the patio, and we're looking forward to the day where we'll be fully opened
Right.
again, and
Aren't we all?
everything will...
Yeah.
And from your first reopening, I noticed that you changed up your pickup process as well. It's more of an express now, right?
Yes.
Whereas before you would come in, and when I would order on my mobile app, it would count it down, and it did ask that we wait until
The time frame.
designated
Yeah.
time that it was ready, and I would imagine that was to lessen the crowds, correct, and people not standing around.
Right.
So there was that request, which I felt was really, helpful in that social distancing.
Yes.
And then you did you switched the process to where now when we pick up, we come through and our coffee is right there on a table in alphabetical order.
Yeah.
Your order is there.
It changed every day. We had to learn
Yes.
on every day was something, we're going to do this, and how can we make it easier for the guests to
Right,
pick up.
right.
So now everything's still ready. The phone still lets you know, your mobile app still lets you know the best time for you to come and your
Yes,
drink will be
yes.
ready. But everything's alphabetical. You pick it up. We have Uber Eats now,
Yes.
which is something we never did before.
Right.
So we're in the same learning process as everybody else.
But the app is perfect. It tells you what time you can
yeah.
pick it
Tells you
up. It
everything.
also gives you an option to give a time
Right.
that you want to pick
Yes.
it up.
How
and
convenient.
it shows you that timeline. If you see it and you think, oh, I can't do that right now, then you can give a designated time, or you can just go back in
Right.
and do it when
Right.
your time
Yes.
is more convenient.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And because we're a newer location, we have a lot more walk-ins.
Yes.
People, because this is the first store that opened after the pandemic started. And so we had protocols we had to follow
Yes,
and go
yes.
through. We still wear gloves all the
Yes,
time
yes.
and face masks. We have sanitizer all over the place
Yes.
for everybody to use.
Yes.
And we had decals outside to keep people as, 6
Right.
feet away.
Yes.
So we take every precaution to keep people as safe as possible.
And I know
That's
that
great.
that was really important to Phil. too.
Absolutely.
Wearing the face masks
Yeah.
and, listening to the rules and the regulations
Yeah.
that will keep everyone safe. I
Yeah.
know that was a very big concern for Phil. It was just keeping everybody safe from the
team
to
the guest.
customer.
Absolutely.
Yes, to the guest.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
And we want them to know that they can feel safe coming here. It's a safe environment. It always was,
Yes.
but now with this pandemic going on,
Yes.
it's even more so.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So we take every step possible to make sure that everybody's safe and they can enjoy their cup of love while they're
Yes.
either out on our patios. We have a lot of people that stop by, and we have this one guy that comes in and he gets 12 drinks every Friday,
Oh, wow.
Okay.
and he takes it back to his office, and he shares the
Wow.
with
And he's
everybody
sharing
there.
his cup of love.
Yeah.
And that is what it's all about. And that's what Phil wanted. And so I encourage all of you, if you haven't tried Philz, to come in and experience what a cup of love tastes like and just the environment. Even now, when there are restrictions, you still get that magic from Philz. You still feel it, and you can still make friends here too.
Yes, you can.
So,
Yeah, you
yes,
can.
you can.
Yeah.
So, thank you so
Absolutely.
much, Rocky.
Thank you,
my
Rocky.
pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, it's nice to meet you.
Very nice. We've had
Am
a wonderful
I a
time.
BFF now?
Oh,
my
absolutely.
God, you are. Yes.
Without a
yes.
doubt.
Good.
Absolutely.
Without a doubt. Yeah, we'll
And-
go to dinner.
And I think we should do that other the
Oh,
tasting
yes,
of the
yes,
coffees.
I would
really
do
love to do that.
Yes, let's,
I think it's a
let's
lot of
set
fun.
that up. I
Okay,
think
we
that
will.
would be awesome.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that'd
you're
be
going to
awesome.
see us. Well, you'll
Well, you'll probably see me more
Right.
often because I'm so close by.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a stone's throw away. So,
Yes.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I'll bring my dog.
There you go.
Uh-huh.
There you
We
go.
can bring
It'll be a
Blaze.
treat.
That'd be great. Yes, thank you.
Yeah,
And thank
so
you again.
thank
It's been a
you.
great show.
Thank you so much. And thank you, BFFs, for watching and being a part of this. So get out there and grab your cup of love and enjoy.
Enjoy.
Thank
Cheers.
you. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. Thank you.
Bye.